Hello everyone, Autocar Guy Rich here. Today we're doing the build of the AMT Autocar DC-9964B dump truck with monotone ultra strength heated body. Now so far the kit's pretty easy. I made the mistake in my unboxing video that I had said that the parts weren't numbered, just like the Dodge L700 kit. Well, some of these parts. Let me see if I can get it to focus here. Yeah, let's see. We'll put that down. Some of the parts are numbered. Okay, and that's great. Now the ones with the little black on there is that list of items that are not to be used with the build on this kit. So I just put a little check mark on them with black marker so I remember not to cut those off and try to use them and fit them somewhere. Well, some of these parts are numbered, others aren't, or are not, which is fine. But again, when it comes to the build, there's no part numbers listed in the instructions. All these numbers you see here, 19, 17, 1, those are the steps to put whatever section together. They never list the part number on the instructions to what you need to fit wherever it's going. Okay? Now that's fine if you've built many kits, like I have, and I'm not trying to brag here. I'm just stating that, I've been doing this a long time. However, once again, if this was one of my first kits that I was building as a new modeler, I don't know that I'd come back to the hobby ever again. Also, I just figured out that this particular kit, even on the box top, nowhere does it list the skill level of what this kit is supposed to be. Okay, now that Dodge L700 from Lindbergh, I would put the skill level on that around a 5. Okay, it was a bugger putting it together because of the poor instructions. Now the instructions on this kit, they're not as bad, but they're close. Okay. Now I've just cemented the parts of the engine together, and of course that was a nightmare because things just didn't fit properly. I've spent a good 20 minutes sanding. If you see the white on this file, the file was clean when I started using it this morning. So I've sanded quite a bit down, filed it down on the engine. I've got the tanks together, and I'm just now cutting the frame loose from the sprue tree. And oh my gosh, there was more flash on here than I think there were parts on the sprue tree. This is just ridiculous. Here's another piece right here. Here it is again. Here's another piece. The whole frame rail on both sides, okay, on this edge and on this edge, each had, I don't know if you can see, here's parts of all laying down here. They each had flashing almost all up and down the full length of each side of the frame rail. Plus, this is also that really filthy tree. All these parts are dirty. Those are supposed to be white. They're filthy. Which, whatever. It happens. Static electricity will attract dirt. I get that. That's acceptable. It's just, I noted it because it's kind of excessive on this particular kit. So, alrighty. I am about to start cutting the pieces off of the tree that are the cross members for the frame. And I will come back to you when I start gluing up one side of the frame when I decide which side that's going to be. All right, guys. Thank you. See you in a minute. So there it is, guys. That's the driver's side, the left side of the frame. And 5 pieces are glued in this. Well, this one and this one were 2 pieces, so really 7 pieces, but whatever. They're all glued in on one side of the frame, and I will now set that aside, and hopefully it all dries nice and straight overnight or for the next few hours, and then I'll come back and add the other side of the frame, lay it on there, and then I'll masking tape that together while that dries, and hopefully it dries nice and straight, and we'll move on. Okay. Back in a little bit. Thank you. Okay, everyone. So it's been a couple hours since I glued all the cross members to the driver's side frame rail. And now I'm going to attach it to the passenger side frame rail, or the right side frame rail, whatever you want to call it. I'll try and get the camera lined up so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to add a little bit of cement to the little spaces that are kind of notched out for each corresponding cross member. There's really not one for the back, but it fits in flush. I guess I could put it on the ends of each piece, but because the locating things are there, I just go ahead and follow along with that, and then I'll add a little extra as we progress. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. I gotta make sure I put it on there the right way. And then what I'll do is I will start on one end. Well, I guess I'll do it this way. I start on one end by placing it in the space, making sure it's lined up correctly. And this one goes in front of that or behind it, depending on which way you're looking at it. That one lines up in there, there, and then the final one goes there. If you hear it clicking in, that's a good sign. And of course it won't stick because it's all wet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this end, line it up in there correctly, and I've already got some tape kind of pulled out. I'm just going to wrap that piece to use it basically as a clamp so that it wraps around a little bit on the snug side just to hold it in place. Then I'll go back and forth and make sure the slots are all lined up correctly in the part. There it is, there it is. Do you hear it snap in? That's a good sign. All the way down. This one needs a little nudge. And again, I'll take another piece of tape that I pulled off and set aside. Set that on there. I'm sorry if I'm not in frame on all that, guys. I'm just trying to get it done. And now what I'll do, I have the front and the rear kind of locked in. Then I will take some glue and put it on both sides, because now I don't remember which side was which. So I'll put some on each of the places that connect. Drip a little right in the center of that one. Same with this one. We'll just put it in there. I don't know if my hand's in the way. Just dabbing it in. And this one I'll do it on the inside because there's not much room on the outside to get it in there. Both sides. Fronts and backs. Okay, and then when I take the tape off, I'll put a little bit on the ones I can't get to at the moment, but they should be good. Well, I'll try it now and get, no, it won't work that way. Okay, well, that's that, and I've got one more piece that I'll just put on there to kind of hold the whole deal together. A little bit more added protection just to ensure that it's going to stay nice and straight. And I'll set that off to the side for a while. A few more hours, I'll come back and take that apart and add more to it. Be right back. I went ahead and did the same thing with the hood and the side pieces of the hood. Okay, there are 3 pieces here. There's the actual hood and then 2 sides. I went ahead and glued them up, taped them up just to hold them in place while the glue sets. and then that way I'll be able to place the hood on, and then if I wanted to look at the engine, then I can take the hood off. Other option is to just glue it all together and cement it in place on the hood, but you'd never be able to see the engine, which is no big deal, but I like to see them. So that's setting up right now too. Put that aside. One of the things I did earlier was the fuel tanks. Glued them all together, and then I'll touch them up and sand them down a little bit of rough edges on that one. Not a big deal though. Alright. Well, there you have it, guys. I just took the piece of tape off of this one and a centerpiece, and I'll go ahead and peel this one off on camera for you. And this here is the way it goes. It's the upper part of the frame rail for the truck, and it is, well, it's over a foot long. It's going to be a pretty good sized model car, truck, whatever. Okay, back to building. See you in a few. So this kit isn't as bad as the Dodge L700, but it's gaining momentum. Here in the chassis assembly section, there's a little part right here that they call the muffler shield, which is this box right here. Okay, it has 3 holes, and it mounts to the frame, and then this piece, which is chrome, they want it to be chassis color, but you look over here and it has a little C on it, and that refers to it being chrome. But the main issue is these 3 holes are supposed to, one of them is supposed to line up with this exhaust pipe right here, which would be the passenger side exhaust. Drops down through the frame and meets up with this thing, which is mounted on the outside of the frame. So once we figure that out, we'll be okay. The issue I have is this is the box here. It shows it with 3 holes, and it only comes with 2 holes. And if you take it apart and look underneath, there's nowhere to locate the 3rd hole. So I have to wait until the engine is complete, painted, ready to go in, and then figure out the alignment for where this little piece is going to meet up to the top of the box, and then drill a hole in this, and then mount it. No big deal, just another one of those things that really shouldn't need to take place. But the engine's coming along. The frame is just about finished. I'm just gluing up the last I-beam to the front spring. Then I'll be gluing on all the peripheral stuff that goes on there, and then paint that all in a nice black. And the engine I think I'm going to do in a yellow. And I still haven't decided what color to do the body or the bed of the truck yet. So stay tuned. More goodies to come. Here's the instructions for putting the dump box together. I'm in the middle of gluing them up and clipping the parts together. Fairly simple build on that. Everything went along real easy. The only disappointing part was I was hoping to do the actual box in a different color, and then painting the outside bracing, you know, like a contrast color, like silver, and then maybe the box red. Problem with that is I would have to line up and scrape down all the paint off of the inner box pieces, and then the glue wouldn't stick properly. So I decided, I made an executive decision, and I decided I'm going to paint it all in like a aluminum color. So here, parts are coming along. The frame, I got the front spring drying right now. Going to get started on some paint and hopefully have this video wrapped up and a build for you in just a day or so. At the end of this video it'll actually be, but in real time it'll be a day or so. So alrighty, I'll keep on moving. See you in a bit. Thanks. Okay folks, progress and moving along. We got the box almost completely done. This was a bugger, getting it in and the fitment all right, and pre-fitting and re-gluing and just working all the kinks out of it. The instructions weren't as clear as I had hoped they would be, but moving along, it's coming. Okay, I don't have any paint on any parts yet. The engine is completed back there. Interior is almost completed. I'm going to spray it all in a black, and then let's see, where is the dashboard? There it is. I'm going to paint all the dashboard, and then after it's all in black, I'll come through and highlight the gauges with some different colors, silver and maybe red and yellow, that kind of stuff. Maybe a little bit of wood grain along the glove box area there. So that's where I'm at the moment. The frame rail is just about complete. I've got the front suspension all on. Next comes the rear stuff, which is all right there. I was waiting on the frame to dry up, the glue to dry, so that I can start putting all those parts on. I want to get them all glued on before I paint, because they're all going to be in a chassis black kind of color. So that's progress that we've got so far. I'll be back in a few. Alrighty folks, so on this step, dropped it there. On this step here, the front axle, everything is pretty straightforward on the build. These little parts here, they're kind of finicky to get in. I went ahead and glued this piece and this piece in first, only because you have to get this long bar part to fit through the little brace here. So I did that first and let that set for a little while, and then I added the other little pieces to it. And I put this end, let me grab a pen here, this end of this piece here to the hole in the axle up there, and let that set up for a while. Then I added this final piece here. So it was a little finicky for my big fingers, but there it is there. It's all coming together nicely, drying. All the rear end parts are in. I got the tow hooks on. So almost ready for paint. Just wanted to bring you along. I originally was going to paint the engine one color and the transmission a different color, but in the actual instructions it recommends painting this all tan, and I thought, well, that'll be a good look against a nice black background of the frame and that, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. There you see the box is just about done. Have the working tailgate on there, or opening tailgate. I went ahead and built both sides of the box and glued this all together, and then I realized that these hinges have a little pin that go through this hole right here. So what I did was I took, here it is, I took just the straight file that I use, and once these framing pieces were good and dry, I attached the hinges to the tailgate, and then I just opened these up with a twist of the file a little bit, just to open those spaces up a little bit, and then these popped right in without a problem. And then the bottom part has a little hook on there, and it just clicks right in, makes it nice. So that's it. It's coming along. We'll see you on the next part. Quick update here on the Autocar dump truck. Coming along nicely. Box is all finished. Has a wood, simulated wood up on the top there. Wheels and rims are drying. Cab is coming along. It's not attached. I just set it up there for the moment. Just did the dashboard and we're getting ready to glue the steering wheel on and set that all in place where it belongs. A few more little chrome bits and some mud flaps in that, and it should be ready to go. And hopefully by the end of this video, you'll see a nice looking truck. Alright, back in a few. The Autocar DC-9964B is coming along, folks. Got the box on there. The wheels are set. Interior is ready to go in. Light does, and there you go, there's a nice shot of it. That was fun. Next to be the cab, which I have a door handle drying on there right now. And then front bumper, drive shaft, a couple of miscellaneous horns and that, and lights for the top of the cab. And we'll be done. Be right back. Well, there it is, everyone. I appreciate you sticking around to the end. This here is the AMT Autocar dump truck, the DC-9964B. It was a challenge, let me tell you that. I mean, it was nothing too hairy. I mean, if you've been modeling for a while, you could figure it out. But boy, oh boy, the fitment on everything, you can even see the cab leans back a little bit here, and it causes the hood to lift. The instructions were horrendous, almost as bad as the Dodge L700. But this one, my biggest complaint about this particular kit was the instructions focused mainly on the right passenger side of the truck. Okay. For instance, oh, I forgot to put the little the cover on that. There's supposed to be a little chrome piece right there. I was so excited to be done, I forgot the piece. I'll get that on there in a minute. That is this little square right here goes there, and the mirrors too. I forgot. I was so excited to get this far, I completely forgot about those. So I'll finish those up off camera. But I wanted to get this video out for you guys. Like I was saying, the biggest complaint is like this little battery box right here. There isn't one for the other side, but they give you two in the kit, but you don't put one on the other side. I don't understand that. But then this fuel tank, it has nice slots on it where it goes and lines up real perfect. And then this one, they just tell you one goes on this side. They don't tell you where it goes. And this tank right here, the hydraulic tank, there's no space for that to go either. You gotta kind of guess. There's a little connector between part of the transmission and that little pump right there, and you basically got to put the engine in and put the little linkage, that's the word I'm looking for. You got to put the linkage in one end and put it in the other and kind of see where it lines up on the frame, and then glue that on and put it on afterwards. It was just a nightmare. And then the other complaint I have is the axles that they give you. You can see one right here. The 3 metal bars, they're all exactly the same length, but if you look, the one of them is too long. The tires stick out. They're all the same size, but because you can't push these on real hard, I'm actually scared I'd break the model if I pushed it on too hard. But it causes the rear wheels to stick out and protrude just a little bit on each side. Let's see, the lift gate works fine. Okay, the simulated wood pieces are cool. The box lifts up. Okay, I just glued a bunch of stuff on there. It's after midnight here, and I'm just trying to get this video done for you guys now. It was fun and challenging. I'm always up for a challenge. I will add that little piece and then put some decals on there and pretty it up and stick it in the collection. But I don't know that I'd build another one. You know, it was a nice kit, but life's too short. I'll just leave it at that. Oop, I bent that a little bit. I fixed that off camera also. But there it is. That's the AMT Autocar 125 scale. I hope you enjoyed the video. I don't remember what all the other parts were all about. It's been quite a few days I've been working on this one particular kit. In the meantime, I put out a 61 Impala and built that in just a couple of days. That was great. This one here was a challenge. We'll just say that. If you're up for a challenge, by all means, go out and get this one. But I really think that whoever's handling this kit, it's AMT, so most likely it's round 2. Those guys put out some fantastic product, but I think they need to get somebody in there to actually build these kits and start critiquing them and giving them some good advice on ways to improve this particular kit. And the Dodge L700 if they're carrying Lindbergh stuff too now. You know, I'm not knocking what they're doing. I appreciate everything they do to keep the hobby alive. But a little bit of research and development wouldn't hurt on things like this. So, alrighty, guys. I thank you all so much. Have yourselves a wonderful day. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and keep on modeling.